Hello and welcome to Devil's Advocate. Nothing could be more embarrassing for Pakistan than the fact that Osama bin Laden was living in Abbotabad for perhaps 5 years before being killed in a stealth operation by American Navy SEAL commandos. With me to answer the many questions that arise is the country's former president and former army chief, General Pervez Musharraf. General Musharraf, let's start with the fact that Osama bin Laden was found in Pakistan. Would you accept that it's deeply embarrassing that he was living in Abbotabad, a mile or so from the Pakistan Military Academy and just about an hour's drive from the capital Islamabad?
It's about 1.5 to 2 hours away from Islamabad, but yes, indeed, it is embarrassing.
Now, David Cameron, the British Prime Minister, Alain Juppé, the French Foreign Minister, have said Pakistan must explain what bin Laden was doing in Abbotabad. Do you believe Pakistan owes the world an explanation?
Well, I think more than the world, Pakistan needs an explanation to itself with how did this occur, how did this incompetence or failure occur, and then to the world. I don't think we should answer it to ourselves first, and nobody has the right to start demanding from Pakistan.
But you are saying that the Pakistan government needs to tell its own people how what you called an incompetent situation happened.
Well, yes, we need to find out ourselves, because I strongly believe that it is incompetence and not complicity. Therefore, we need to find out whose incompetence, and we need to bring those people who were involved in any form in the intelligence setup in that city of Abbotabad or around Kabul, need to explain to Pakistan authorities.
So you are calling for a full, open, transparent and honest account from the Pakistan government to the Pakistan people?
Well, yes, investigate and then let the people know, let Pakistan know and let the world know. Because here accusations certainly are there that there was complicity. But I reject that theory. I reject it because of certain facts that President Obama himself has congratulated or thanked our intelligence agencies who facilitate leading to the target. So why has he thanked them?
Let's then, General Musharraf, come to some of the key questions that arise. The first key question is, did the Pakistan authorities know that Osama bin Laden was living in Abbotabad, and were they happy for him to continue there, or were they unaware and therefore ignorant?
I am reasonably sure or very sure that they were unaware.
Are you absolutely confident of that they had no idea whatsoever?
They were very confident. Because that is not the policy of Pakistan and not the policy of the intelligence agencies, not the policy of the army. I know that. Therefore, I can't imagine that there was complicity involved.
Let me tell you the problem with that answer, General Musharraf. Osama bin Laden's wife, Amal, has told Pakistani intelligence that Osama bin Laden was living in Abbotabad for 5 years. Is it conceivable that he lived there for so long without any strong measure of official support?
Well, I doubt that statement, because I have read a statement in a paper that they had come here just about 3 months back. So I really now, purely from logical point of view, I don't have any intelligence or information to corroborate what I am going to say.
Except the statement that I've made, General Musharraf, is from the BBC, and the BBC have said that in fact the Pakistan Army High Command informed them of this. They themselves revealed to the world that Amal had told Pakistani intelligence that bin Laden was living there for 5 years. This is put out by the Pakistani Army High Command.
Well, I don't know. I have my doubts. Pakistan High Command has not been uttering a word as yet. They have not given any statement. I don't know which BBC correspondent has got this statement. But however, let's leave it at that. To my logic, it doesn't appear logical that he could be there for 5 years, because the people surrounding that place, none of them, there have been umpteen number of interviews, none of them has said that they've seen Osama bin Laden. Now don't tell me that he had imprisoned himself in a room for 5 years given himself rigorous imprisonment and staying inside a room, not visible to anywhere, who's the people living there 24 hours all these 5 years.
At the end of the day, General Musharraf, whether he was living there for 5 years, 5 months or a shorter period of time is actually just a matter of detail. The key question is that he couldn't have lived there for as long as he did without anyone doing anything about it unless Pakistan was either complicit or incompetent. Are you sure this is not a case of complicity?
Yes, I have said so. I am sure, because I would like somebody to ask President Obama or find out why has he thanked our intelligence agencies. My information says that it is because the lead, the intercept, or a telephonic intercept from our intelligence agencies was given to CIA. Now, if there was complicity, they wouldn't have done that.
Except for the fact that if you're talking about incompetence, then the level of competence is almost astonishing, because it now emerges this morning that the CIA had a safe house in the area which they had occupied for at least 5 months. They were taking photographs and they were closely monitoring and intercepting conversations. So clearly, if it's incompetence, it's an astonishing level of incompetence.
Well, as big as maybe Bombay, as big as 9/11, it is incompetence, yes.
But it doesn't excuse it, even if you compare it to Bombay 9/11. This is the Pakistan Army and the ISI accused of incredible incompetence. Will you accept that?
Well, Army intelligence, yes. And in intelligence, I would like to pinpoint this place. Probably the intelligence det commander, maybe of a very lower military rank. That is the person whose incompetence. It's not the whole intelligence agency's incompetence, the detachment which is there, and I know that that place is headed by a junior officer.
Well, you're pointing the finger, General Musharraf, at a junior officer, but let me tell you what the British newspaper The Guardian has published this morning. They have been told by Amrullah Saleh, the former head of Afghanistan's National Directorate of Security, that as far back as 2004, Afghanistan had told you, when you yourself were President of Pakistan, that Osama bin Laden was in Mansehra near Abbotabad, and you angrily dismissed the tip-off. Do you think with hindsight you made a mistake?
Amrullah Saleh is an anti-Pakistan person. I took him to task in front of President Karzai. Therefore he will talk all kinds of nonsense.
Alright, let me put something else that underlines the level of incompetence that we're talking about, and I'm quoting from things that Pakistani officials have said after Osama bin Laden was killed. First, the ISI told the BBC that they had this compound in their sights from 2003, and on one occasion they even raided it. Then the Foreign Secretary of Pakistan in an interview told the BBC that in 2009 Pakistan had tipped off the Americans about the compound. Finally, in January this year, just 3 months ago, the Indonesian Al-Qaeda terrorist Omar Patik was captured and arrested in Abbotabad, just about 2 miles or so from the compound, and he revealed that he had come to Abbotabad to meet Osama bin Laden. So how is it that in fact the Pakistan authorities didn't know Osama bin Laden was there? It's an astonishing level of incompetence.
Well, yes, it is. But the very fact, as I said, that people living 24 hours there for all this time that he was inside, whether it is 5 years or 5 months, didn't know about it. How is it? How is that? So therefore, if that is possible, then intelligence not knowing that he is inside is also possible.
Except that ordinary people not knowing is one thing, the ISI and the army not knowing is quite another.
ISI not knowing or the intelligence detachment not knowing, yes indeed, yeah, it is different. But I think I would say the people there have greater access because they are there day in, day out, night in, night out. They ought to have known that there is Osama bin Laden inside. Since they didn't know, there is a possibility that intelligence was also not focusing there.
All right, there is a possibility.
Fact that you yourself are saying that in 2009 they did this and 2003 they did that. So that itself revealed that they were cooperating on the intelligence level.
Cooperating, but nonetheless ignorant of what was happening in front of their own eyes. General Musharraf, let's take a break at that point. When we come back, I want to put to you what the Americans are saying about the operation. That's in a moment's time. Don't go away. Welcome back to Devil's Advocate and an exclusive interview with the former President and Army Chief of Pakistan, General Pervez Musharraf. General Musharraf, let's come to what the Americans are saying about this operation. Leon Panetta, the head of the CIA, has told Time magazine that the intelligence was not shared with Pakistan because he was scared that Pakistan would tip off Osama bin Laden. In other words, they didn't trust Pakistan. Now, coming from someone who is perhaps your closest ally in the world, isn't that a slap in the face?
Well, that is terrible because we are fighting terrorism together. I think if there is lack of trust, it is bad. It is bad for our war against terror and must not be there. In my time, till 2007, 2008, I know that all operations conducted in Pakistan, intelligence sharing was there, homing on to the target, but each and every one invariably was attacked by Pakistan law enforcement agencies.